Hello, everyone, and welcome everyone to our weekly Tongren healing session. Each week, we'd like to provide a connection to our community as well as a distance healing boost as we continue on our healing journeys and different things like that. So we have people on Facebook, a couple of places, YouTube, as well as my website and even Instagram. So we allow people to put in their request. So we have some requests already beginning. It is a high holiday for so many things, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas, and I'm sure there are more. I was told like in November and December, there are like 25 high holidays for all the religions. So it's a very popular time. So let's begin. We have some requests also by text as well. So what we do our three-part process. This is the doll with the proprietary points. This is the hammer, which is basically allowing us to focus as well as we can on opening a blockage. The blockage is what creates resistance for the bioelectrical system of the body, which is primarily the central nervous system. So the bioelectricity is a communication system throughout the body, sending messages and electrical charges. And when there is resistance, the target areas of an organ or a cell in particular, or even a part of a cell, a mitochondria of a cell, can be deficient. So let's begin right now. We're going to do, in general, we're going to do a three-part process. So the goal is just to sit and relax, breathing through your nose, and we'll do a quick relaxation response breathing technique if you breathe in through your nose, and I'm going to count for you. So what I'm going to have you do is you're going to breathe in 4, out 6, and hold for 6. That will be a good relaxation response. So if you're available to do that, so we'll begin. You breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold your breath for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then breathe normally. That activates your parasympathetic nervous system and your relaxation response. And we will begin. And welcome to Dorothy, Cool Settler, Fran, and Eric, and a few more. So let's begin. Blood flow to the brain. And let's work with Emma from Australia. So our blood flow to the brain is to basically do a reboot of the brain and blood flow and brain-body communications. Command points of the brain. And we have a hello to Mumashari. So the command points of the brain: hypothalamus, pituitary, sensory cortex, motor cortex. Endocrine system and the bioelectrical system. Initialization. That's it. CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, and ME. I don't know that acronym. I'm sure I do know it. I just can't think of it at the moment. If you could put in what ME stands for. So then we do the command points of the brain and command points of the brain stem. So these command points are like, they control entire systems of the body. So the medulla, our CRV point, controls cardiac, respiratory, and vasculatory systems. So our breathing, circulation, and our heart systems. So step 1 is to really initialize the command of the systems. And then we focus on blood flow and nerve flow. Blood flow to the brain and to the spine. So for Emma, we work on the hilar area, pancreas area, T8. Thank you, Deborah, for giving me that myalgic encephalitis. Okay. Thank you, Deborah, for clarifying that. In many ways, chronic fatigue syndrome is where so many resources need to go to heal or compensate, where energy is being utilized for overactive nerves or inflammation, and energy to do regular day-to-day activities is really not available. So we want to work on calming the whole system down. So we'll continue with Emma, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation. And the microbiome, of course, T11, T12, L4, and L5. Good to see you, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. And then, as always, grounding. And then that's the sympathetic nervous system of the spine, S for spine and speed up. And then the parasympathetic nervous system and the vagus nerve, balancing it out, vagus nerve, and the vagus gut-brain axis, but the vagus nerve down the torso as it CV17 for Emma. And then the energy centers, the lower dantian, CV4 for energy, and then down the feet, liver 3 and kidney 1. Okay, so let's continue. We will work with Julie for MS, Dorothy for macular degeneration, and Catherine also for macular degeneration. So they're good eye washes. Eye Bright, which is a great eye cleanser. I'm researching, don't do it unless you're working with a specific herbalist, but also cayenne peppers and stuff like that, which are really circulation enhancing. But Eye Bright, these types of things you can get from your herbalist or your doctor that are good for increasing circulation and heart, artery, in terms of artery health. Blood flow to the brain. So for Fran, esophageal cancer as well. But let's work on the eyes. Blood flow to the eyes through the carotid artery and the vertebral artery. C3, which is the main nerve to the eye area, especially the left eye, wet left eye, dry right eye. And cataracts, as we always talk about from the book, can see and the specific amino acids that are really good for cataracts. If you have a homeopath, they have homeopathic remedies for cataracts as well. liver, which is a Chinese medicine relationship with the eyes, is T9. And our fancy term, the ouch point of the eyes itself. And just when you close your eyes, put your mind in your eyes, or even adding energy to your eyes, get your hands nice and warm and cup your eyes. Breathe into the eyes. Nourish the eyes. And vertebral artery to the spinal artery. But CV17 for macular degeneration, anything we can do to increase circulation, blood flow, nerve flow, and nourishment. And Catherine tells us she sends Reiki to her eyes, which is perfect. More energy, more healing. Less resistance, less blockages. And then vertebral artery to the spinal artery. Anti-inflammation, immune boosting, T1, T3, 4, 7, 8. And continuing on down, T7, 8, 9 for the esophagus area, and T7 to T12 for the nausea and vomiting. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for MS. And oftentimes MS is related to Epstein-Barr virus infection. So always good to rule that out. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. The MS group. T8 for the esophagus. T11, T12 for the microbiome in the gut, but especially the vomiting. T9. So basically T7, 8, 9 for Fran. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the chronic fatigue syndrome. Something that would be really good would be invoking the relaxation response through resistance breathing devices. Really simple, easy, which will activate, increase oxygen in the tissues and will activate the relaxation response. And it will allow the body to heal. And of course, intermittent fasting, which basically means you have more time for the body to fix itself at night. Smaller windows of eating, larger windows of repair. Works very well. Intermittent fasting. And the microbiome. And again for the ouch point for the eyes, and C3 for the eyes, macular degeneration. and grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. In addition, for all cancers, we work on oxygen because, as we know from our science and Otto Warburg and the Nobel Prize-winning research, no disease or cancer can really flourish in a well-oxygenated environment. So let's work on oxygen. Phrenic nerve to the vagus nerve. So sky window area, the CV17, the diaphragm. Lung 1, lung 2 from Chinese medicine as well. And down the legs, liver 3 and kidney 1. So for the vomiting, I don't know the exact ones, but there are specific homeopathics that are good for vomiting. So let's work next. We'll continue to work with chronic fatigue syndrome. Good things for that would be like vitamin B12, helpful lipoic acid. And that's also good for the neuropathy for Jean, to make sure that you're nourishing the nerves as much as we can if there is a neuropathy or a challenge. Different things. And for Jean, have you had any lower back injuries or lower back pain as well? That would be a question for you. So let's continue on. Blood flow to the brain. And we're going to work with Drew. And continue also with the eyes for the cataracts, the ouch points. C3, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Craniosacral fluid. And then for Calm Creature and Drew. So Calm Creature, detox, adrenal health, and healing. Continually breaking the right foot. So clay poultices, again, would be a good way to help that. I would add clay poultice and a little bit of tincture of pokeweed to accelerate the circulation in the clay poultice for the lymph. So for detox, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, the immune system. Detox the lungs and the lymph and the skin. And the liver and the kidneys. And hello, Cynthia. T1 for the bones and bone marrow for healing the bones and the right foot. And blood flow and nerve flow to the lower extremities for the feet. T7, abdominal aorta area for blood flow to the lower body. And the nerve flow would be the brachial plexus, the lumbosacral plexus nerve for the lower part of the body. And then the ouch point on the right foot. Right foot broken the third time. Sorry to hear that. Definitely wrap clay poultices overnight. Good wraps. Physical therapy, yoga therapy would be great for that as well. Strengthen all the muscles above and below the break. And grounding. And then detox as we did. T9 for the liver, L1, L2 for the adrenal health, GB13 for emotional balance. And don't give up. Anti-inflammation for CFS. Again, myalgic encephalitis. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And next, we have some more work for the eyes. And Katrina, leg circulation. Short-term memory. Blood flow to the brain and happy mama. Chi for perfect blood, lymph, and strong immune system. Short-term memory. So GB13 right side, left side. Belly fat. A good way to do that is through intermittent fasting and cold showers to basically transform white fat. Brown fat can transform white fat and melt white fat and reduce excess fat in the body by having a cold shock situation in the body. Those are two things you can do right away, as well as eating plant-based. Of course, that would be the best because that's high in fiber, which will accelerate, and some exercise. Doesn't have to be crazy, but that would be a good starting point. GB13 right side, left side, short-term memory. Frontal lobe. And before my battery goes out in my phone, ladies and gentlemen, and there we go. So we have blood flow, nerve flow to the spine. So that's the vertebral artery, which comes up in the corner, goes to the brain and branches down the spine. So C3 again for improved eyesight. And next we work with Katrina and Jean. Leg circulation and neuropathy in the same areas. So the brown fat is in the clavicle area and then upper back, but in the whole spine area. Winter swimming, if you're up for that. Cold showers, really good for that. Ouch point for the eyes, improved eyesight. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So we'll work also on the bones for Happy Mama. T1 for the bones. And hello, Scott from Utah. How's the tapping going? How's your partner doing? Ouch point for the eyes, facial artery, blood flow to the eyes. C3 for the eyes, the eyesight as well. Microbiome for inflammation for everyone. T11, T12, the gut, L4, L5. So T1 for the bones and craniosacral fluid for the bones, GB789. Sphenoid bone to the tailbone 1, 2, 3, and 4. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Strong immune, especially T3 for the lymph. And let's do a major lymph tune-up for everyone. The axillary lymph of the armpits, Chinese heart 1 area. These are the collection centers for the lymph nodes under the armpits, in the groin, and the Peyer's patch area. And a couple more important points for the bones for Happy Mama, GB39. On the outside of the ankle opposite of spleen 6. The ankle above, and then grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's work on the leg circulation for Katrina and the neuropathy in the feet for Jean, and also for the feet, the broken foot. So that will be blood flow T7, blood flow to the lower extremities. Make sure you're getting plenty of B12 if you have any neuropathy. Even if it says you have normal levels, you can do B12 and counter check with a test called an MMA test, methylmalonic acid test. B12 is for the life and longevity of your nerves. And the nerves for the leg circulation and the neuropathy, what we call the lumbosacral plexus, from hip to hip. So we want blood flow, nerve flow for the legs and the neuropathy, and even the broken foot. You're welcome, Jean. So check your B12, your alpha lipoic acid. You can massage oil with B12 into your legs as well. You can increase lymph circulation, which will reduce inflammation and will help regular circulation through castor oil or castor oil packs, castor oil itself, or pokeweed oil, poke oil. Definitely I would do some massages, some oil in the legs and the feet. And then down to the ouch point of the feet themselves and the legs. Let's do the legs, increase circulation by the whole gallbladder high T-band on the outside of the legs. If you're having any body work or acupuncture work done, they can work on these areas as well. Liver 3 and kidney 1. Can I increase the volume? Wow. Not sure. Well, I'm just getting that message now. I sit a little further away so people can see the doll. But I apologize. Maybe your computer, there should be a way to increase your listening volume. My voice is a little bit low at times. Let's see if I can do anything. Nope, I think that's just my listening. Let me know how it's going, Pondering Earthling. So again, for belly fat, I would use castor oil packs on the belly, just below the belly button. Increase circulation as well as all the other things that I mentioned before. Adam, good to see you. And less sesame oil massage. That's great for the bones. That's an Ayurvedic recommendation. You can put sesame oil right into the skin. That's one technique for the bones because of all the good calcium in the sesame, especially. Topically, oils, clay, even light therapies are really good for this to get through the skin. And lower left back from overexertion, yes, and then Drew as well. Visceral belly fat, well, if you use castor oil packs, yes, it will increase lymph circulation, which means everything in the area should be circulating better. Also, cold showers, that will increase cold shock conditions, which will affect the brown fat to reduce the white fat in the body. So those would be a couple of good tips. And we will have time, Umashari, for sure. Blood flow, nerve flow. So we want to detox from pesticides, cataracts, cravings, TV commercials. So Deborah, you take cold showers and it's good for CFS, or you're... Yeah, because it really is. It will basically slow things, it will cool things off, and then be very good for the body. So blood flow, and nerve flow to the entire spine. Yeah, that's a good point. It's good for the CFS, the chronic fatigue syndrome, and it will also help to kind of tonify the vagus nerve as well. So T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for immune boost for timid soul. Detox, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 from pesticides and cravings. C3 for cataracts, ouch point for cataracts. And don't forget the book, The Cure for Cataracts by Kardisios, I think that's his name. And using certain eye drop remedies, CAN-C, I think is what it's called, for what he says is a cure for cataracts. We will work on growth hormone for cataracts, C3 for cataracts, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for detox from pesticides. And cravings a lot of times are mineral deficiencies. So if you improve your superfoods of mineral dense foods like sprouts, wheatgrass, sea vegetables, fermented foods, your cravings can be reduced. And hello, Lauren. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and then lower back strain. So blood flow, nerve flow, lower overexertion. T7, blood flow, lumbar 1 to 5 from the nerve flow. So blood flow, nerve flow, two-part process. Chlorella is great for cravings. Chlorella. Yes. And grounding. So lumbar 1 to 5, and it could be the kidneys, lumbar 1, lung 2, kidneys or kidney stones. You're welcome, Pam. Good to see you. And we will also work with Les and Marie. How you doing, Marie? Hi. Lumbar 1 to 5. And hello, Scott from Utah. Are you getting snowed in like, what's that place? Buffalo, New York? We have no snow here. Something is changing, like the climate. And down the legs. And some more with the legs for the people who had neuropathy. Bladder 54, liver 3, and kidney 1. And again for all the lower back areas, lumbar 1 to 5, and then the lumbosacral plexus, hip to hip area, especially L4, L5, S1 areas, what causes a lot of the lower back pain. And welcome, Erica. For edema in the face, I would definitely use some either poke oil or castor oil, pokeweed oil or castor oil. Castor oil probably good just to try it in the face. It will increase circulation, reduce the edema buildup overall, and then depending upon whatever the cause is, you might want to do a clay mask on the face as well to mineralize, nutrify the area. So, grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1, less energy levels and pain in the back. Not a pain in the neck, but pain in the back. So blood flow to the brain, initialize the brain, and we will get helpful specimen, clear all your chakras. There are great things you can do to clear all the chakras through YouTube tones. I've done it myself. They go either all chakras or chakra by chakra, and you can clear all the chakra tones. We will work basically on the Chinese equivalent of the Dantian areas, but we will work on your chakras as well. So thank you for joining us. Blood flow to the brain, then vertebral artery to the spinal artery. Pain in the back, let's work on T1 to S5. T1 to 3, 4, 7, 8 for inflammation. And continue on for platelets, T1 for the bones, and craniosacral fluid, GB789, and tailbone, bone marrow directly, tailbone 1, 2, 3, 4 for Marie. T1 for the bones, tailbone 1 to 4 for the bones, and GB39, also classic Chinese point for the bones. And continue with the bones and the platelets. I always get that wrong after all this time. And grounding to liver 3. GB13, left side, right side for Marie. Grounding liver 3 and kidney 1. And we'll work again with Drew. Happy settler, high pressure and foggy vision in left eye, blood flow to the brain. GB17, medulla for pressure for the eyes. And blood flow to the left eye and ouch point on the left eye, Asher point. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Possible kidney alkalosis and the right kidney. T, L1, L2 area. And yes, we will do work on the flu system, Lauren. And grounding to the 3 and kidney 1. Breathing can help manage your carbon dioxide with resistance breathing. Relaxator, the relaxation response device, which creates resistance breathing, is good. It also helps to regulate the heart and blood vessel health, which is critical. And if you've had COVID, you may have some health or blood vessel related issues as well. There's a great product called Vein Health from Global Healing, globalhealing.com. It's a product called Vein Health. So let's continue with the blood pressure to the eyes, foggy vision. Definitely for the kidneys, castor oil pack or castor oil clay pack. Foggy vision, left eye. C3, left eye. And T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. For clearing the flu systems, viral infections, bacterial infections. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. T4 for the skin for Drew. And again, the kidneys for Drew. L2. Shoulder release point for the shoulders for Drew. Brachial plexus. T1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Regulate the heart and blood vessels. Recent hot flashes, so the endocrine system, TV20, 22, pituitary, and hypothalamus. So the lymph for the face, for the edema, blood flow, facial artery, facial nerve for the edema for Erica as well. So all the lymph in the neck, definitely working the lymph in the neck area, the lymph in the face area, lymph drainage in the axillary lymph of the armpits, and digestion T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And grounding and the ouch point on the face. So again, for all COVID or flus, T1, T3, 4, 7, 8. And for blood pressure, we have a couple of people, hypertension, TV 17 for hypertension, diabetes, T1, T3, 4, 7, 8. So with diabetes and hypertension, chronic kidney disease, definitely bring your fat intake of your diet down around 10%. Increase your fermented foods, sea vegetables, high fiber foods a lot. So let's work on all of that. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. T4 for the heart. Always consult your doctor with any of these things if you have a pre-existing condition, but of course, ask their advice about intermittent fasting and cold showers. Cold showers, or at least winter swimming, increases insulin sensitivity, which can really help with diabetes. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and then L1, L2 for the kidneys. So also we don't want to miss varus, tightness in the chest. So T6, T7, CV17. TV17, blood pressure. So let's work on the lung 1, lung 2, upper chest area, CV17 for the whole chest area. For varus. And then for T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, hypertension, diabetes, T8, esophagus and pancreas, chronic kidney disease, L1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, the T5 for the heart. Also hypertension for Daniel, chronic kidney disease, post-shingles pain. So shingles oftentimes is an outbreak of the Epstein-Barr virus family of infections. And like according to the World Health Organization, 80 to 90% of the planet has an Epstein-Barr virus dormant or active in their bodies. So let's work on the pain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and the skin problems, acne scars, big pores. So something great for the skin, especially if it's the face, is clay with coconut oil. Vitamin E straight will be good for scars. But the clay will pull those pores clean. And if it gets too dry, then you can add a little bit of coconut oil. But clay would be a good way to help with the acne and acne scar going forward. And the facial swelling is because it's becoming too toxic. So definitely clay from here down, even a clay slurry or clay mask. T4 for the skin. T4 for the skin and ouch point in the face. And for Drew and for Gentle One, bladder area. So T7, blood flow, and L2 for the bladder areas. Esther and Drew. TBI, traumatic brain injury. And if you hear Dr. Sparks, chime in and say hi. So blood flow to the brain for the TBI. And yes, best wishes for a healthy, joy-filled 2023. And yes, I was determined to watch just a few minutes of All Creatures Great and Small, and 3 hours later, there it was. What a great show. Great acting, great stories. So T3 for the lungs for Linda, T5 for the heart, and now let's work on all the chakras. So the upper dantian, which is the third eye area, GV20 for the crown chakra, Yin Tong for the third eye area, throat chakra, CV17 for the heart chakra, CV12 for the solar plexus chakra, and CV4 and the Huayan for the root chakra. What network are you? Oh, what network? Oh, GBH. Yeah, that is channel 2 in our area, but that is public television. It's the best, no commercials, the best acting. It's like a first-class movie every show. It's brilliant. All of the Masterpiece Theater, that's what they're called. Okay, let's continue on. Lung cancer, so let's work on lungs. PBS, yes, that's it. CV17 for the lungs. I'll put the laser on CV17 as well. Lung 1, lung 2. And T3 for the lungs. Blood flow, nerve flow for the bladder for Drew, and kidneys for Drew, and shoulders, shoulder release points for Drew, and bladder for Drew and for Esther. T7 and L2, and the bladder meridian. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Opening up the heart would be CV17 from the front area and T5 from the back area. microbiome and the digestion for Erica. Again, and then edema in the face, lymph drainage, and rebounding is one of the best ways you can do for lymph circulation in the whole body. So we'll finish up. Blood flow to the brain. And blood flow to the brain and to the spine. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for bronchitis. Good to see you, Leonard, my friend. And we have seasonal affect disorder. We will work on that. I did not see Call of the Midwife. I had already watched like 2 or 3 hours of repeats. All things great and small. So I know those are great. I watched those before. Scarlet, that's the one we're waiting for. I think that's going to start up again. So bronchitis, T2, itis, inflammation, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And from the front, lung 1, lung 2. And CV17 from the front for bronchitis. One of the best things you can do for bronchitis is a steam tent with lavender drops in steamed water. Breathe it into your sinuses, your nose, and your lungs, and it will be a natural herbal antibiotic. It will clear that up very well. Hopefully. Yep. Scarlet starts January 8th. There we go. So much for Sunday nights. Good. Thank you very much, Deborah, Marie, and seasonal affect disorder, GB13, and in Tong area. So alpha lipoic acid plus B12 is really good for nerve regeneration. Those two together. And along with B complex vitamins, but B12 would be number 1, B12 and alpha ALA number 2. If you can also add in B vitamins through your food as well. Happy New Year to everyone. Seasonal affect disorder, mood, emotions, GB13, in tongue, third eye area, and grounding, especially for you. Blessings to everyone. Endeavor, we did get the vagus nerve, GB12, to the gut-brain axis, which is connected by way of the vagus nerve, communication link. Cynthia, good to see you. Let's welcome 2023. Woohoo! I will see you all in the near future, far future. I will see you all next year. I will be here. Sunday nights trifecta. Oh my goodness, that's 3 PBS shows in a row. Yeah, could be. The only date that I won't be here will be February 26th. March 2nd. March 2nd is the only day I probably won't be here for 2023, so I'll just give you a heads up. ring in the new year with blessings. Gratitude to everyone for being part of this healing community. We all support each other. We keep each other going forward in a healthy way, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I'm blessed to be among all of you. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Happy New Year to everyone. Good night.